Hello, my name is Wilson Molby, and here's my MIS-310 Final Project demonstration. So number one, all of my pages are uploaded to the student web space. Number two, I have images here, in my classwork page, and in some other places. Semantic HTML tags. I have a header on every page, and I have a footer on every page. Hyperlinks. I have links that will link to the other pages on every page, and I've also put some of them on images to link to the home page. Padding and margin. I have some padding here to get these off the edge, and I also have margin to center some elements on various parts of some of my pages. Font stylings. I have two fonts in this page. I have imported Bellota Text and UDP Gothic from the Google API's fonts. HTML tables. I have a table in my classwork page right here. CSS classes and IDs. I have quite a few classes and IDs. I've given almost every element an ID. Some of them have classes like the nav links, which are these up here. An HTML form. I have one on a survey page. I've got text input, radio buttons, text fields, drop downs, checkbox, submit button, email, which does actually have the formatting, and it will link back to this page once the survey is completed. CSS Flexbox. I use Flexbox here, and I also use it on the lower part of my classwork page. Must take accessibility into consideration. All of my images have an alt tag. Let's see if I can find one here. Yep, I have an alt tag on all of my images. Pseudo selectors. The easiest one I can find is the header bar. All of the links will light up when you hover over them, and I have hover pseudo selector right there. Must provide some responsive design characteristics. I have added media selectors that will affect the page when it is smaller. So I've removed some of the stuff in the header bar so everything can fit, and I've also shrinked the size of the text here, shrink the size of this. I have some media queries on all of my pages. Must use CSS positioning. My header bar uses position fixed, so it always stays at the top of the page. Position fixed. Must use CSS variables. I have several variables that I use to store the colors, just so it's convenient and I don't have to remember the hex codes for all of them. Must use CSS grid. I've used the CSS grid on the top part of my classwork page, and we can see that here, display grid. Must use CSS to create some animation. I have an animation at the bottom, and what it does is it allows this text to do a subtle pulse glow with some light coming from behind the text. And then must use some jQuery. I didn't have much of a use for one, so I just added some jQuery to my survey page, and all it does is it targets this text to make it read this way. So you can see I have a target here, and it just does a P element that reads like that. So that is everything, and thank you for your time.